Hi, it's Kai. Number 11. Shoebill Stork. The shoebill stork looks like it came from the age of the dinosaurs. Is this crazy-looking bird even real? Yes, it's very real, though you probably haven't seen one because it lives in tropical East Africa, in large swamps from South Sudan to Zambia. It's easily one of the most terrifying birds on the planet. They are massive. They can reach 5 feet tall, so it could easily give you a kiss or a peck on the cheek. They also have a wingspan that reaches over 7 feet long. In the limited interactions researchers have had with the shoebill stork, they have noticed that these flying creatures aren't exactly your friendly Sesame Street big bird. They are as mean as they look, and just as brave. They've even been known to attack crocodiles. They're also extremely patient. They'll wait for hours in the same spot before leaping out at unsuspecting prey, which includes snakes, catfish, eels, anything small enough to fit in their giant beaks. Shoebill storks are rarely bred in captivity. Only 2 chicks have hatched in the last 100 years in zoos. The mysterious and elusive bird is also one that is well sought out by poachers. Some collectors will pay more than $10,000 for one. Ugh. There is an estimate of between 3,300 and 5,300 mature shoebills living in the world today, and that number is quickly decreasing. Number 10. Purple frog. There are thousands of different frog species, so is it really surprising to learn that there's a purple frog? This species was not made public to the world until about 20 years ago, in 2003. If you're seeing it in the wild, your timing is perfect. You'll find this special frog in the Western Ghats of India. Each weird little quirk of the purple frog's anatomy is the result of countless years of evolution. Here's where things get interesting, because the timing you'd need to go and see the purple frog has to be perfect. They spend their lives underground for the most part, a stark contrast from other frogs in the world. They have small eyes, a long snout, and short limbs equipped with hardened spades. And yes, they are a dark, dull purple color. What's more, the only time they do come to the surface is during the monsoon season. Why then? Because that's when they choose to mate. That might sound like a rather limiting way to grow your population, but in fact, the purple frog species are able to lay about 3,000 eggs in one go. I guess the sound and feel of the rain really puts them in the mood. To help with their underground lives, their bodies are flat and bloated in a way that allows them to grip underground and submerged rocks so that they can just cling there whether they are in the streams or in the ground. Number 9. Colombian dwarf gecko. No, your eyes do not deceive you. This is truly a gecko that can fit on the top of your finger, and it won't even cover up the tip of your finger. That's because the Colombian dwarf gecko is only 2 centimeters long. You'd think that with their small size, that they've been around for a long time, but you'd be wrong. In fact, they're a species that has been around since the time of the dinosaurs. However, fast forward to now, sightings are extremely rare. As such, they're believed to now be extinct. Number 8. Borneo pygmy elephant. Wait a minute, a miniature elephant? I think I'm in love. The Borneo pygmy elephant is the smallest elephant in Asia. They are so adorable and quite charming. This cute animal has a baby face, unusually large ears even for an elephant, a plump little belly, and a really long tail, which occasionally drags on the ground while they walk. Compared to other Asian elephants, the Borneo pygmy elephant has a much gentler nature about it. It's believed that pygmy elephants are descendants of a domesticated elephant herd, which was given to the Sultan of Sulu in the 17th century. If you're wondering why this elephant is so rare to see, that's because it has been falling victim to some of the same issues befalling other elephants. Since 1986, the Asian elephant has been listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List as the population has declined by at least 50% over the last 3 generations. mainly due to the involvement of humans not just breaking up their habitats so that the elephants scatter, but making it so that their lands aren't able to support them anymore. And when the population of an animal drops by 50%, that's really sad. One of the reasons they're called pygmy is because they're smaller than most elephants. Asian elephants as a whole are known to be smaller than African elephants, but the species isn't exactly pygmy. They still reach almost 10 feet tall and weigh between 6,500 and 11,000 pounds. In Malaysia, the Borneo elephants are protected under Schedule 2 of the Wildlife Conservation Enactment. Any person found guilty of hunting elephants is liable on conviction to a fine of $50,000 or 5 years imprisonment, or both. Good. In the United States, there's only one Borneo pygmy elephant at a zoo, and this was a rescue animal. Have you ever been lucky enough to see one of these little elephants? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're at it, be sure to like this video and subscribe too. Number 7. Ti-Liger. More than likely, you've heard of the bred creature known as a liger, which really became famous with the movie Napoleon Dynamite. The liger was created by a male lion and a female tiger. But the Ti-Liger, the father is a male tiger and the mother is a female liger. Ti-Ligers are 75% tiger and 25% lion. The Ti-Liger, says Daniel Radin, a journalist and ethologist, is one of the rarest animals on the planet. According to said journalist, there are only about 6 in the animal world at large. Information on the Ti-Liger is a bit scarce. However, the ones that have been found are said to be quite healthy and that their breeding didn't lead to any odd health issues, which can happen with crossbreeding. So if enough of them are born, a true population can be had, though the chances of this are slim. Plus, like the liger before it, it's said to be an incredibly large creature, even as a cub. Number 6. Hector's dolphin. In the world today, there are all sorts of dolphin species, both big and small, with many of them being endangered. Within that group is the entity known as Hector's dolphin. These dolphins are only found around the inshore waters of the South Island of New Zealand, with Akora Harbor and Banks Peninsula, hosting the highest population in one location. They have a territorial range of 32 miles, and they don't venture far from this point, which may be why you've never seen one. This animal is one of the smallest marine dolphins, only reaching about 4 feet in length. Hector's dolphin is distinguishable from other dolphins by their rounded black dorsal fin, which is shaped like a Mickey Mouse ear. They have gray bodies with white and black markings and a short snout. But wait, who's Hector? Sir James Hector was the curator of the first colonial museum in Wellington, now called Te Papa. He was the first to seriously examine this species, hence the name. Number 5. The black-spotted couscous. Heading yet to another critically endangered animal, we have the black-spotted couscous. Aside from its conservation status, there's a very simple reason you've likely never seen this creature. It only resides in New Guinea. The reason it's now listed as critically endangered is because it not only has to deal with humans hunting it down, but the deforestation of its natural habitats, something that is happening quite a bit all over the planet. These creatures are very special in terms of their looks, with their multicolored fur and how their eyes look. In fact, they're an animal that is put on stamps because of their looks. In terms of their personality, this creature is a tree dweller most of the time. They'll find a spot on a high branch and just relax there during the day. They'll get more active at night, but still only rarely touch the ground. They mostly feed on leaves and fruit. They are very solitary creatures, even with their own kind. Feeding and nesting are performed individually. Interactions between individuals of this species typically involve aggression. They just like to do their own thing. Number 4. Hispaniolan selenodon. At first glance, you might think that the Hispaniolan selenodon is a rather adorable little creature, but you should probably keep your distance, because this creature is one of the few mammals in the world that is able to produce venom with its glands. And while it's unknown how deadly it would be in humans, it has been proved to kill mice within 6 minutes. The tail, snout, legs, and eyelids are completely hairless. They have big heads with a long rostrum and teensy eyes. Ears are partially hidden by the body fur. Their forelegs are clearly more developed than the hind legs, but they all have strong claws that come in handy as these creatures like to dig. Another surprising element to this member of the shrew family is the fact that this creature might have actually existed in the time of the dinosaurs, making its species millions of years old overall. However, while it may have luck when it comes to surviving eons, the expansion of humans has not helped its population, not the least of which is because its biggest predator is rats. Adding to its problem is that this shrew is known to have a low reproduction rate, and since you can only find it in certain areas of Haiti, that means it's very trapped, very outnumbered, and is thus one of the rarest creatures on planet Earth. Number 3. The hooded grebe. This bird looks like a very unique duck. One could make the argument that the hooded grebe is one of the rarest and most endangered animals I've shown you so far, to the extent that some estimates states that there are less than 1,000 of these creatures left in the world today. It is found in the isolated lakes in the most remote parts of Patagonia and spends winters along the coast of the same region. They have some pretty flashy dance moves too. They use some fancy footwork to raise themselves above the surface of a remote body of water. They dance cheek to cheek with impeccable timing and whip their heads about in smooth rhythm like a pair of headbangers at a concert. Since the discovery of the species, the population has dropped by as much as 95%, and it was estimated that there are between 800 and 1,000 individuals left. But the population is becoming more stable due to active conservation actions. Climate change is also dramatically impacting these birds. Number 2. Philippine eagle. When most people think of eagles, they think of the bald one, that is the symbol of the United States. But eagles are found all over the world, and some are more in danger than others. This includes the Philippine eagle, or monkey-eating eagle, which is the largest extant species of eagle in the world today, and is very much endangered. Among the rarest and most powerful birds in the world, it's been declared the Philippine national bird. This is only logical as the bird is native to there and only found there. The Philippine eagle's nape is adorned with long brown feathers that form a shaggy, mane-like crest. It has multiple colors upon its fur, feathers, and even face, giving it a unique look amongst other eagles in the world. In terms of length, it can be about 3.5 feet, and females are longer than the males, and they can weigh over 17 pounds. But its wingspan is what makes it really impressive, because at max power, it can be about 7 feet long. Oh, and they don't really eat monkeys. They do, however, prey on rodents, snakes, and pigs. Number 1. Northern Darwin's frog. If you look at the Northern Darwin's frog and think it's a bit too big for its britches, you need to know one very important fact about this frog. It looks that way on purpose. That purpose being mouth brooding. Confused? Well, there are 2 species of frog in the world right now that rear children within their mouths, and this is one of them. As for how that works, the female lays a small clutch of eggs on moist ground. 7 days later, the male picks them up and stores them in his vocal sac. He keeps them there until they have developed a functioning gut, and then transports them to a suitable water body and releases them. They live within Chile, or at least they used to. As of right now, one has not been seen in decades due to deforestation. However, many people have hope that they're still out there somewhere. Thanks for watching. What do you think of these wild animals that are rarely seen? Have you been lucky enough to see any of them? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Bye!